Hello my darlings, I hope you're all doing very well. I hope you are sitting comfortably, you are cozy and you have your snacks and your beverages. Today's video is gonna be a roller coaster of a ride. I feel like it might be a little bit of a long one as well, so do snuggle up and just strap yourselves in, okay? So this video is gonna be about a magic tattoo ink that has been in the works for a little while now. The CEO behind this magic ink is a famous tattoo artist by the name of BangBang. Now, BangBang is a celebrity tattoo artist. We all know how I feel about that term. I hate it. To me, it means absolutely nothing. So you've just tattooed some famous people, right? That's nice. Good for you. Just because you've tattooed famous people doesn't mean you're a good tattoo artist, especially if we look at Cara Delevingne's lion tattoo that BangBang did. Yeah. And should we take a look at the line work of Rihanna's cover-up blast over situation? It's, yeah. Need I say more? But hey, celebrity tattoo artist. Means you're great. But yeah, BangBang charges a ton of money to be tattooed by him just because, you know, he has a large following on Instagram and the fact that he has tattooed famous people. So he's ripping people off, basically, in my opinion. So in July of 2022, I actually can't believe it was this long ago. I thought this was announced last year, but time has completely flown away from me. I uploaded a video called BangBang's Magic Ink. Is it a scam? In this video, I covered the fact that BangBang had announced releasing this ink and I've discussed what he had posted on Instagram. I talked about the fact that it was announced as a rewritable tattoo ink. And there was nothing else much said about it. It kind of just left everyone wondering what the hell this is. Most people did say that it was basically a bunch of snake oil or it's just another gimmick like ephemeral tattoos. For those that don't know, ephemeral tattoos were a business and a company that made disappearing tattoo ink. So a tattoo was only meant to last a year, and then some people that got these ephemeral tattoos were noticing that these year-long tattoos were lasting a bit longer, so then they changed how long that these tattoos were meant to last, up to 3 years. But now there are people that have had these ephemeral tattoos for 3+ years and they still have them, and that has not ended well at all because they had quite a few studios. I think it was like 6 studios doing these ephemeral tattoos. They have closed all of those down now, and the last time I looked into it all, they were just selling the ink to any old tattoo artist. But there have been rumblings of lawsuits against ephemeral because of their crappy claims. So yeah, we all know how that ended, and here we are again with another tattoo gimmick. Great. Anyway, some time has passed since the announcement of this magic ink. Since BangBang posted about the fact that this magic ink was coming back in 2022, nothing else has really been said about this magic ink at all. Like, it was a drop this, here's some info, but not really. Let's just walk away. Which was very strange because on their announcement post, they said, in the coming weeks and months, we will share more information about the team of doctors and scientists that invented magic ink. But there was like nothing for weeks and months after. We have gone past a year and a half at this point. The only post after the announcement post was in September of 2022, where BangBang posted a screenshot of a GQ article about the tattoo ink. But yeah, since September 2022, nothing. Zero. So yeah, I definitely had a thought of, oh, it's not happening now. It was all smoke and mirrors and we'll never see anything to do with it ever again. Well, my darlings, I was actually very wrong with this because BangBang came back with a vengeance a couple of days ago. So the first post to resurrect this ink from an inky grave was this one here. It says, the world's first rewritable tattoo ink, and it's basically just a promotional video that's very like high tech. We've got like a ton of scientists in hazmat suits. It just shows the magic ink and all of that. It doesn't fully tell you what it is or anything like that. It's more of like an editorial kind of vibe, right? And then we have another one that is pretty much similar to the one that we just watched. It's again a promotional editorial kind of video. They then posted up another video where we see a few tattoo artists talking about the ink. This includes Ryan Ashley. I'm sure some of you are aware of the tattoo artist Ryan Ashley. She rose to fame from the tattoo TV show Ink Master, and ever since then she has been incredibly popular.
Probably the most mind-blowing technical innovation in tattooing I've seen. It's fascinating.
I believe this is, of course, a marketing tactic. BangBang has really pulled out all the stops here to get everybody that has some kind of following or fame to get on board with this. Now, jumping ahead a little bit here, 15 hours ago from when I'm obviously filming this, Magic Ink Instagram posted a photo collage of all of these famous or very well-known tattoo artists that are here to back this magic ink. Okay, so again, we have Ryan Ashley right there. We have all of these names. I'm sure some of you can recognize some of these. Some of these I don't recognize because I don't really keep up with super popular tattoo artists as such, because it's just not my kind of thing, to be honest with you. But yeah, there is a few that I recognize here for sure. Mr. K Tattoo, he is a tattoo artist at BangBang. He is super popular and he does those incredibly fine detailed and very small micro tattoos. Just clicking on random ones now. We have a tattoo artist here called Christy with 100k followers. Let's go right to the bottom. Let's see if it's actually in order of how popular these tattoo artists are. 61k followers. Let's just click on another random one. Is there any tattoo artists here with less than like 20k followers here? I don't think so. Nope. Another one, 85k followers. Basically, BangBang has recruited a bunch of popular tattoo artists to say, hey, this is great. So this, of course, is a great marketing tactic as well. All of these tattoo artists that are apparently backing this magic ink are popular tattoo artists with a lot of followers. They will then share this magic ink on their stories to a large audience. Do you see where I'm going with this? It's all a bunch of money-making BS, and we'll see more of that later on in this video. But this kind of stuff just does not work on me. I can see right through it. You are not going to catch me believing in or falling for a magic tattoo ink that a bunch of celebrity tattoo artists are promoting. A bunch of artists that will charge their clients thousands of dollars for tiny tattoos that aren't gonna last 5 years. I want to see local tattoo artists, you know, Cindy Lou down the road who's been tattooing for 15 years talk about this. Are we gonna see that? No. Why? Because any normal tattoo artist that isn't about taking as much money as they can from their clients is going to be about this kind of thing. Back to the Instagram reel that we were just watching, BangBang talks about how this ink got its name.
It gave itself its name. When we first saw it, it felt like magic. It was magic. And so this is magic tattoo ink. This is magic ink.
Super creative, that, isn't it? Like, I mean, it does what it says on the tin, I guess, so you don't need a super complex name or anything like that, so I'll let them have that. But woo, they're making it like such a big deal that it's called magic ink. I just don't. This video then goes on to show us how the magic ink works and how the magic ink just disappears with a simple white light device torch thing. And then a chemical engineer by the name of Emily tells us how this all works.
Magic ink gives you an opportunity to take designs to another level. You can design now almost like just thinking as two designs within one.
So an easy explanation for what magic ink is essentially a tattoo that you can make disappear and reappear just by using different lights.
I have so many thoughts and feelings towards this whole thing, but if I go off on a tangent now, we are never coming back. So we'll carry on looking at the video before we dive into the nitty-gritty. So then this video goes on to introduce a medical professional.
My name is Dr. Adarsh Vijay Mudgill. I'm a New York City-based dermatologist. I'm board certified in dermatology and dermatopathology.
Again, to me, this is a great marketing tactic because one of the main questions on every single social media post about this magic ink is people being like, is it safe? Is it okay? So hey, why not diminish all of these concerns by inserting a medical professional into this video? All of this is good marketing and Video then concentrates on one of the ingredients within the ink, which is called PMAA, and they want to stress just how safe this all is. It's safe, okay? It's so safe.
PMMA has a long history of being safe, and it is also used in a very similar application to tattooing.
So magic ink is incredibly safe.
It's the safest thing out there, okay? Oh my days. We then see the chemical engineer Emily in another Instagram post. She talks a bit more in detail about the ink.
So an easy explanation for what magic ink is essentially a tattoo that you can make disappear and reappear just by using different light. Magic ink is a photochromic diaryl dye that is encapsulated in a medical grade biocompatible polymer.
So to put this in a shortened version for you all, something that's a little bit more understandable, I guess, because the promotional videos and all of that are just all over the place, right? So this ink basically could be switched on and off. You can have it added to existing tattoos if you want. So if you want to add an extra element that you want to be able to turn on and off, or you can have it incorporated into a new tattoo. So you get a tattoo of, say, with this example, a dragon, and then you can use the magic ink to make it look like that dragon is all of a sudden breathing fire or what have you. Or what you can do if you'd like is use this ink to tattoo a square, say a 2" by 2" square on you, and then you can use the torch to create a design, which would be pretty hard because it's just like a big round, you know, device. Or they are having an extra thing on the side, which is this like magic pen where you can actually like draw specific designs on that 2" by 2" tattooed square. Obviously, if you're like me and not very artistically skilled, you'd probably have to use stencils. Now, from the videos, it's not very clear how this all works. All you see is someone using a torch-like device, and, you know, the tattoo disappears or it reappears. You don't really know what's being used or how it's worked or anything like that. It's all a bit like wishy-washy, and you don't actually figure out what is happening until you either go on their website and read massive paragraphs, or you do what I did and deep dive through some of the comments. We have this comment, it says, "I have a few UV tattoos, how's this any different?" And Magic Ink responded with, "Magic Ink is a groundbreaking tattoo technology that lets you rewrite, erase and reprogram your tattoos, utilizing UV reactive ink technology. Magic Ink enables users to change the image or design within their skin instantly, painlessly, thousands of times." So yes, of course, this whole thing relies on UV. Obviously, with UV, okay, we have a great big ball of fire in the sky that irradiates UV, right? So that's obviously going to affect this tattoo in some way. There's this comment that says, "Will sunlight affect whether it appears or disappears? Really cool concept. I've been waiting for a revolution in tattoo ink technology. Keep it up, it's overdue." Okay. Magic Ink replied, "The UV reactive pigments have been developed to allow activation or deactivation to last for a significant amount of time. On occasion, the sun can activate Magic Ink depending on UV and visible wavelengths variables." So you're basically telling me that if the sun is out, this is just, it's pointless, right? The tattoo is going to be visible. So I've been racking my brains thinking, why would anyone want this, right? Okay, maybe someone wants a super personal tattoo that nobody can see and only they can see when they use the little torch thingy, right? Maybe it's for a gimmicky reason, which everyone gets bored of. Let's be serious. Everyone moves on to the next thing. Everyone will get bored. People will lose the torches because people misplace things all the time. It's just, ugh. But whether it's for a super personal reason or for a gimmicky reason, as soon as there is some sunlight, those two reasons out the window, gone. Because stated here in this comment, someone said, "What lamp is used?" And Magic Ink replies, "A UV light is used to activate and white light is used to deactivate." So that personal tattoo that you didn't want anyone else to see, well, now everyone at the beach can see it because the sun has activated it. That gimmicky tattoo that you got that might potentially be not safe for work, or you don't want, you know, your grandma seeing it. Well, now grandma is crying in the park at the family picnic because she can now see that dick tattoo on your ankle that you were trying to hide from her because it was used with magic ink and it wasn't meant to be exposed unless there's UV light. And oh look, the sun is exposing that tattoo. Come on. Truly, what is the need for this? Please. Like, honestly, why do we need this? We don't need this. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the fact that this is all UV light based. As we all know, UV light isn't the safest for us humans, okay? And these tattoos need UV light exposure for this to work. So this comment highlighted that. It says, so now prolonged repeated high UV exposure is good for the skin. Multiple variables attribute to the danger of UV exposure: energy of exposure, time of exposure, and wavelength. Our UV light is very low energy, 1 watt. For comparison, a tanning bed uses bulbs that are 100 to 200 watts. The activation of magic ink requires very low energy over a very short period of time. There is minimal UV exposure and certainly nothing in the realm of worrisome. Then this person replies saying, but that short period of exposure is activated and deactivated up to 10,000 times as stated by you. They have said that they have tried this ink 10,000 times, apparently. We'll get more into that in a bit. In one spot of skin, low exposure is still exposure, and according to medical professionals, there is no safe UV exposure. That's like saying there is a safer cigarette. Everything we use is at our own risk. People use tanning beds and nail curing lamps, but stating this UV exposure, nothing is the realm of worrisome, is a statement you cannot make in good conscience and defies what the medical advice around the globe has told us. Now, of course, this is something not many people will care about. I personally do care about like UV damage and sun cream, mainly because I'm one tattooed. I spend a lot of money on my tattoos. I want to protect my tattoos. I don't want any UV light anywhere near it. Factor 50 all the way, baby. Okay. I'm also very pale, so yeah, there's that. But yeah, like sun damage and UV damage is incredibly important to me. But if it's not to you, then obviously that's completely understandable, whatever. I don't know, everyone's different, right? Anyway, this comment says, how does sunscreen play into it? Great question. Sunblock would block the ability to activate your tattoo for a short time. So with this revelation, are they going to be like, oh no, you silly, don't wear SPF if you want the tattoo to work? So they're basically going to be like, well, if you want this to work, don't wear sun cream. Don't wear sun cream. Or basically, don't use sun cream in that specific area of the tattoo, which then leads to, you know, that area being exposed to the elements. You're going to tell people with tattoos that spend a lot of money on tattoos that they can't put sun cream in that specific area. Okay, cool, right, awesome. Love that. The fact that they're like a short time. Well, no, it's not going to be a short time really, is it? Because your sunscreen should protect your skin for a long period of time. And another thing to add on to this is the fact that they say that you can add this ink to existing tattoos to change it up. So does that mean then you are now exposing to your existing tattoo done with traditional ink to more UV? And again, they say it's 1 watt, it's not that strong, but it's still more UV that tattoo would be getting. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, oh my god, what is this? Now, here's another thing about this tattoo ink. Oh yes, we're not done. You either have to buy the ink yourself, okay, or you get your tattoo artist to buy it for you, which would probably be the better route, to be honest with you. But then if you do that, you are then obviously gonna probably experience an upcharge, which, you know, every tattoo artist has the right to do. But yeah, no matter how you attain this, you can buy this magic ink on the Magic Ink website. You can buy a 2 ml, I don't know if you understand how small that is, but that's very small. You can buy a 2 ml bottle of this ink for $100. I'm not joking. 2 ml of this ink is $100. 2 ml of this magic ink for $100. This is insane. Like, this is unwell behavior, if you ask me. $100. Just to make you aware, tattoo ink isn't that expensive normally. For 30 ml of this black tattoo ink, it is just under £20. For 30 ml of this tattoo ink, it's £14. And for this gigantic bottle of black ink, it is under £40. Now, of course, with this magic ink, it is quote unquote special, so of course it's going to be a little bit more expensive, but come on. Oh, and by the way, this tiny 2 ml bottle is single use only, Okay, you can only use it once. Once you've opened it, poured it into an ink cup and used it on that client or whatever, you can't just like shut it and put it to the side. No, it states on the bottle it is single use only. I'm guessing because of the ingredients in it. Once it's opened, it's exposed to air or whatever. I don't know. So even if you use a tiny amount, okay, because you want to do a tiny little heart on someone, anything that's left, honey, it goes in the bin. But honestly, this just does not surprise me. This price tag does not surprise me one bit. We're dealing with a tattoo artist that charges thousands of dollars for tiny, minuscule tattoos. But on a positive side to all of this, you do get 2 torches alongside this $100 price tag. So that's nice, I guess. And it comes with 2 UV flashlights, or are those sold separately? And Magic Ink replied saying it will come with 1 UV light for activation and 1 white light for deactivation. Anyway, moving on, let's talk inclusivity and dark skin tones. Magic Ink is safe for use in all skin types currently. The only colour commercially available is red, which inherently, just like conventional red tattoo ink, will appear less vivid than darker inks on more melanated skin types. There are 6 types of skin, lightest to darkest. We have tested on types 1 to 5, but not type 6. We are actively working to find volunteers so that we can test further. So you're out here promoting this Magic Ink, announced that it's happening over a year ago, and then you come back swinging with, wow, oh my goodness, look at this magical ink, isn't it wonderful? And you've not done full testing yet. You've not tested on darker skin tones. Why? No, really, why? Is it the tattoo industry being racist again? Pretends to be shocked. And you may be thinking, whoa, now Lauren, come on now. Throwing around the racism card, it's a bit harsh. But look at this. We have been testing Magic Ink for 5 years. They have been testing this ink out for 5 years, and you can find one, not even one person with darker skin tones to try this on. In 5 years, 5 years. It's, I mean, I'm again, pretends to be shocked, because this is the tattoo industry as a whole. They always exclude darker, deeper skin tones. Obviously, there is artists out there that don't, and we love them for that. But as a whole, and they pretty much say the exact same thing in this comment where someone asked, has it been tested on pigmented skin? They said Magic Ink is safe for use in all skin types, and we have tested on skin types 1 to 5. Currently, the only colour commercially available is red, which inherently, just like conventional red tattoo ink, will appear less vivid than darker inks on more melanated skin types. The fact that they haven't even tried. You have not even tried. Need I say more? You're just excluding darker, deeper skin tones because you think it may not work. I just want to show you a couple of examples of colour ink tattoos on darker skin types. I tried to somewhat colour match the darkest skin tone on the skin tone colour scale to these example photos, just to show that colour ink can be done on darker skin tones. So yeah, as we can see with this one, we can see the colour ink on this person's sleeve. We also have this one. I think this ink is pink, but you can still see it no matter what. So we've seen that they have been testing this Magic Ink for 5 years. It's a long period of time, 5 years, right? Guess what they've not tested? If someone wanted to do removal on tattoo that was done with Magic Ink, is it also able to be removed by laser? Will that be an effective process? Very curious. Magic Ink responds saying, great question. We will be testing this soon. You've had 5 years, but you're going to test this now? This ink is being launched and released in the summer of this year. Generally, it's not necessary to do laser removal, as you can simply expose it to white light and it's no longer visible. But we are curious too. They're curious too. They're like, hee, we're curious too. I don't know, maybe it will work, maybe it won't. Seriously, you're in the business of tattooing and tattoo ink and you're not going to test it with laser? Are you kidding me right now? Now, I know they said that they're going to test it, but the fact that they haven't tested it before launching is so scary to me. Think about it. We have, say, 5 months until summer, maybe, being generous here. 5 months is not enough time to test this ink with laser over a period of different skin tones, designs. So you'll have designs that use a lot of thin line work, and then there'll be designs that have a lot of thick line work as well. 5 months before release, you're basically going to release this ink with no vigorously testing it? No. The exact same thing happened with ephemeral tattoos. okay? They didn't test because they thought, well, what is the point? Because these tattoos are meant to fade, so we don't actually need to test laser with this. But that doesn't matter. It should still be tested. What if someone gets a magic ink tattoo and for whatever reason it doesn't work well for them? Maybe it's something to do with their skin. Maybe it's an error with the tattoo artist that applied the tattoo with this magic ink. Who knows, right? But for whatever reason, someone someday will maybe potentially want this magic ink tattoo lasered off. And they've not tried that. This is just a joke to me. You know, there is a possibility that someone would get this magic ink tattoo as a little fun gimmick, or they got it because they want to hide it from someone. They turn the tattoo on and then they lose the torch to turn it back off. And at the moment, you can only get the torches when you buy the ink. So this person that's lost the torch, you know, people misplace things all the time, would either have to buy the magic ink again, which is $100 to get the freaking torches, or they would potentially have to like laser it off or anything. But we don't know if laser works or not. So here's something interesting for you. Last night, while I was, you know, just faffing around on Instagram before I went to sleep, this video has taken me a couple of days to edit, so I'm now on day 2 of editing. Anyway, I was looking on Ryan Ashley's Instagram and I saw that she has obviously posted a video about magic ink. First of all, the contrast of comments is insane. I fully believe that the magic ink and BangBang have been deleting any negative comments, because if you look through the Instagram post about magic ink, there is hardly any, if at all any, negative comments. Then you go on Ryan Ashley's Instagram post about this whole thing, and what would you know? All of a sudden, I'm seeing a lot of negative comments about the whole thing. Strange that, if you ask me. So very surprising, isn't it? Not. But yeah, I did wonder why I wasn't seeing any negative comments on the magic ink posts and BangBang posts and all the promotional videos and all of that, because I would have thought there would be at least a few tattoo artists in an uproar about this whole thing, but there was just nothing. And I was just like, okay, well, maybe everyone is like down for this. No. People are not down for this. Again, this is on the Ryan Ashley post. It says, "This looks like the biggest load of balls I've ever seen in the tattoo industry yet. All these big names selling out in a gimmick." Ooh! As they keep saying, it's safe, it's safe, it's safe. It's really, really safe that I become skeptical, and honestly, same. Why would titans of the tattooing industry back anything like this? So gimmicky. I still have to tell clients that glitter ink isn't real. No, there is no such thing as silver and gold ink, and 3D just means shading. Now I gotta talk about this shit with them? Lol, for fuck's sake. Ephemeral tattoo take 2. I wonder how this will turn out. It's a shame massive tattoo artists are putting their name to this. Oof, a lot of your credibility is going to be lost posting gimmicky stuff like this. And then we have just a straight up sellout. Oh. Anyway, the real reason why we're here, and it relates back to the whole laser situation, that's why I've put this little segment in here, is the top comment on Ryan Ashley's post about magic ink is this. I wonder how much Bang paid everyone to promote a product that consists of photochromatic pigments, carcinogen, and plexiglass. This product is not safe, and claims saying it's been tested are misleading. The FDA does not regulate inks, which is the loophole BangBang and this biotech company jumped through to produce this within 5 years. There is absolutely no way to guarantee this does not cause long-term problems, and there is published literature about PMMA being problematic when injected into the skin. But go off, Queen. Another fun fact, you cannot use laser removal to remove this product once applied, because it doesn't just consist of pigment in solution. There is literal plastic particles that will stay forever in your skin. Oh, that makes a lot of sense now, doesn't it? Yeah, it's probably best that you don't try the laser, because God knows what that's going to do. I was researching hard yesterday when this popped, and you're absolutely correct. Hope the payout was enough to retire. Oh, this is not going to end well for Ryan, is it? This is such a hot mess. Like, there is lawsuits looming everywhere as we speak, okay? It's not even been released yet. It's just ephemeral all over again. Now, here are some other good points that I cannot take full credit for at all. So I spoke to a tattoo artist by the name of Justine Lucy. She is, of course, like I said, a tattoo artist, but she sometimes covers tattoo news on TikTok. We talked about this whole situation, and one of the things she mentioned to me and in the TikTok that she posted about this is the fact that stuff like this type of technology has a limit to it.
My concerns about it is how long does it last? Photochromatic particles actually have a fatigue threshold where after so much changing back and forth, they no longer work.
On the Magic Ink website, it says, how many times can I activate my Magic Ink tattoo? Multiple times per day. Activating and deactivating Magic Ink is fast, easy, and painless. You can activate and deactivate your tattoo thousands of times over its lifetime. In vitro experiments, tests outside of the skin, have shown Magic Ink has the ability to activate and deactivate over 10,000 times. Magic Ink is designed to last, but they have been going around on Instagram saying that they have tested this 10,000 times, but they're not specific about how they have tested it. So with this comment, someone said, how long does it last? How many times can it disappear, reappear? And then BangBang replies saying, we have tested Magic Ink with over 10,000 activations and deactivations. To any normal person, you think, oh, well, it's a tattoo ink, so they've tested it 10,000 times within someone's skin. They're not very clear about this unless you go on the website. Justine shared a very interesting video with me called Style Theory, Don't Waste Your Money on Color Changing Clothes. And this is by the YouTube channel, The Style Theorist. Now, I know clothes and tattoo ink are completely different, but just hear me out. Give me a moment with this because, yeah. So like the title suggests, this video is about color changing clothes, which uses the same photochromatic technology as this Magic Ink. And this video honestly explains the whole technology way more better than the Magic Ink website. Because the Magic Ink website is just full of paragraphs with scientific words, mumbo jumbo, that the average person, aka me, just does not understand. And I feel like they have done that for a reason. The average person would look at all of these words and just be like, what? I don't understand, and click off and just not care about how all of this works, right? Again, in my opinion, great marketing tactic, if you ask me. But unfortunately for them, this leads to some curious people like me and Justine and whoever else to go investigating and figuring out like how this works.
How exactly is this happening? Well, these UV activated dresses are made using what's known as photochromic dyes. The word photo for light and chromic for color. So let's just zoom in here and figure out what's going on under the hood. These dyes are basically able to switch back and forth between two different versions of the same molecule. One version, known as the ground state, is the stable one, because none of the atoms inside of it have any sort of charge. Now in most dyes, that would just be the end of the story. You've got yourself a molecule that reflects the right color back to your eye. Done and done. But what makes these photochromic dyes magical is that if you give them a little excitement by energizing them using a dose of UV light, the chemical shape of the dye starts to change. Suddenly you end up with a slightly different molecule than the one you started with, one that absorbs and reflects slightly different wavelengths of light. So instead of just being stuck plain and white, the sweater can now transform into a brilliant blue or a radiant red.
And then obviously with this, we find out that photochromatic technology has a lifeline.
Photochromic dyes have one last hurdle to overcome: stamina. While the process of switching back and forth between colors seems like it should be able to go on infinitely, eventually the chemicals in the dyes start to break down from repeated use.
Oops-a-daisy. Justine pointed out that in the Style Theorist video that the color changing clothes come in this sort of boring beigey color mostly, and then the UV light changes the clothes or whatever into a more fun color.
Each one starts with a base color that's some kind of white, beige, or very light color before the big reveal. When I first saw this, I just thought that this was for demonstration purposes. A blue and pink transformation is gonna wow an audience a lot more when it starts off as a blah beige. But taking a closer look at some of the online stores selling this UV clothing, start to notice that this definitely is not just a marketing ploy. It's a limitation of the product. These photochromic dyes appear to only work when they start as a light color and transition into something darker and more vibrant.
Now, it's not been fully announced by the Magic Ink team, but with the info from the Style Theorist video and this graphic from the Magic Ink website, it would appear that this tattoo ink starts off as a beige color, and then you use the torch and voila, we can now see the tattoo or the Magic Ink or whatever you want to call it. It turns red, and with it being a beige color, it won't show up on quite a few skin tones. And I'd also imagine this tattoo ink doesn't have the same amount of pigment as a regular tattoo ink. I mean, we can kind of tell with the sample photos, the saturation just isn't there like a regular red tattoo ink, is it? So I'd imagine the ink has some kind of transparency to it, or the tattoo ink to start off with starts off as a transparent type of consistency. Honestly, my first thought was Laura Mercier translucent powder. That's literally my levels of intelligence. But yeah, this is a translucent powder, even though it looks like it's got a colour to it, but it's translucent. Transition glasses, they're obviously transparent. They use the photochromatic technology to go from clear to tinted. So that could be very possible with this magic ink as well. While we're here talking about transition lenses, they also themselves have a lifespan, which I didn't know until looking this up, but they last around about 2 years.
Life expectancy, and that's around sometimes even 1 year, more often 2-year mark. They'll get a permanent tint to them and they won't be as reactive, if reactive at all. And I'll tell you that Transitions has gotten a lot better, and they've gotten there's more longevity to them, and so definitely that 2-year, 3-year plus mark.
Also in the style theory video, it mentions the fact that this type of technology works better if you keep it out of light and warmth. Well, we are humans, okay? We are warm and we like to be in the light. We are not bats, okay? We are not creatures of the night. Well, I mean, some of us aren't anyway.
Is the kryptonite to your color-changing supersuit. Heat and light. Yep, the same light that makes this magic happen in the first place. The irony runs deep with this one. According to some sources, quote, the stability of photochromic dyes are excellent, especially if kept at a distance from light and heat. If the dye is placed in a dark and cool environment, possibly they would extend their shelf life up to 12 months. Cool, great, awesome. So we're just gonna buy our $500 UV reactive dress and then get one of those garment bags, throw that garment bag on a rocket and then blast it off to the cold, dark reaches of outer space. At least then our dress will last for a whole year.
So yeah, there's that. Now, of course, there is a difference between clothes and tattoo ink, of course. So take all of this with a pinch of salt. It could be completely different, but the ink uses the same tech as color changing clothes, right? Just putting it out there, basically. One thing we do need to take into account, though, is the fact that this is a tattoo. And as we all know, over time, tattoos do break down. We've all seen it with our healed and aged tattoos. Line work gets thicker, colours fade. And if we mix that in with a tattoo ink, this magic tattoo ink that activates and deactivates, and the history of this kind of tech, it's gonna get tired. Eventually it will get tired. Justine also did bring up a very good point of the fact that this magic ink, whether it's beige or translucent to some extent, that part of the tattoo could still possibly leave a mark and be noticeable should this be attained by a tattoo artist who doesn't really know what they're doing, a crappy tattoo artist who goes a bit too deep. You know, there's still chances of scarring and keloids, so the effect of it not being visible, that's out the window. Justine also asked me, is there any ingredients listed anywhere or an allergen list? So I looked, and no. I did spend 20-ish minutes looking on the website trying to find one. So maybe somewhere in the depths of hell there is this ingredients list and an allergy list, but it's not very well easy to find, which it should be. Again, Ephemeral had the exact same issue. They were not willing to tell anyone what the ingredients was in their ink. People had absolutely no clue what was in the ingredients and if they were going to be allergic to it. And of course, there's a reason to this. Ephemeral and then Magic Ink don't want people knowing the ingredients because then other people are just going to rip it off. Understandable, but then you are putting your clients at risk, right? I did, however, stumble across some aftercare instructions when it comes to this magic ink. It says leave the bandage or covering on the tattoo overnight, remove the bandage / covering the following morning and clean your tattoo with soap and water. Rather than simply allowing water and soap to run over the tattoo, rub any serum plasma off of the tattoo. This allows the tattooed skin to breathe and helps prevent infection. Preferably one should use an antibacterial soap. So that all seems fine, right? Avoid any clothing rubbing over the tattoo as much as possible during the first several days of the healing process, which standard. Change or wash bedding and towels daily to avoid inadvertent bacterial exposure. All right, now you all know me. I am very conscious about tattoo aftercare and being safe and sanitary, but baby gorgeous, nobody is going to be out here changing their bedding every single day, washing it, drying it. Come on, that's just not attainable for a lot of people.
With regular tattoos, if you are afraid of being stuck to your pajamas or your bedsheet, I always suggest using cling film or plastic wrap, whatever you want to call it, at night time. Cover your tattoos. I have been doing this for years if I am not wearing second skin. I would normally do this for the first 4 nights, and then after that the tattoo starts to dry out anyway.
This is where it gets even more what the hell. For the first 2 to 3 days after tattoo placement, apply Bactine and Aquaphor as follows. After your tattoo has been cleaned, apply a thin layer of Bactine over your tattoo. Once the Bactine has dried, apply a thin layer of Aquaphor.
An opinion about this from a tattoo artist, not a doctor or a medical professional that BangBang has paid $1 gazillion to. Again, this is Justine. She said, a doctor might know something about healing wounds, but not about ink retention. The combination of Bactine in and petroleum in Aquaphor would over-moisturize a normal tattoo. Might also contribute to the poor retention. Repeat the process of cleaning, applying Bactine and then Aquaphor 2 to 3 times per day for the first 3 days. Just 3 days. Just 3 days. You want people to just look after their tattoo for the first 3 days. 3 days. Not even a paper cut heals in 3 days, honey. That shit be stinging for a week. Okay, nothing heals in 3 days. And you're out here telling people they should only look after their fresh tattoo for 3 days. Just in case there's people watching that has never healed a tattoo before, doesn't know much about tattoo aftercare, you want to be looking after your fresh, brand new tattoo for more than 3 days. It's normally 2 to 3, 4 weeks.
And then it says, should any adverse events occur, immediately consult a board-certified dermatologist for further instruction. And then it's signed by a doctor. So we all know it's legit. Anyway, I'm honestly just sick of this half-assed tattoo gimmick bullshit. Tattoos have been what they are for hundreds and hundreds and thousands of years. The beauty of them is they are permanent to some extent. Obviously, you can get laser, saline removal, or have a cover-up, blast over. But trying to invent new ways around the permanency of tattoos, you know, by turning them on and off. I can see the appeal with some people, of course, like I did with the femoral tattoos. There's people out there that have strict families or religions or cultures where tattoos aren't that accepted. And it's easier to keep the peace by saying, oh, you know, well, I can turn this tattoo on and off. I can hide it from people. Or, you know, again, with the femoral, it was meant to fade or whatever. And, you know, we all want the tattoo industry to be more inclusive to minorities. That would be great. But even when they make products that are meant to be more inclusive to people that can't have tattoos or they want to hide their tattoos or whatever, they always seem to leave out the darker skin tones. Funny that, isn't it? But let's be serious. Let's just call it what it is. BangBang does not care about the clients. Okay? He didn't do it for that. No. He did it to make millions and millions of dollars. After all, with his track record, he's all about the money, honey. My predictions are that BangBang and his team will sponsor social media influencers with tons of followers and engagement and what have you to get this tattoo, to show it off to their millions of fans and subscribers. And they will show everyone just how cool this is and how much of a fun idea this is. And look, my tattoo is here and now it's not. And it's great for everybody that wants to get tattoos and wants to hide them, or you can make your own tattoos in this red square if you want. And then of course their fans and subscribers will see this and be like, oh my gosh, I want that. And then we'll start seeing an increase of people getting these types of tattoos, and it will be all over social media. I'll end up reacting to 1,000 of these videos in my Tattoo Enthusiast Reacts to Tattoo TikTok series. It will be like an epidemic. We'll also obviously see very popular tattoo artists talk about it. Again, with Ryan Ashley being behind all of this and being an artist saying, yes, this is awesome, this is cool, I support this. She obviously has a large following, so she will promote it on her Instagram, and then anyone that's following her will be like, oh my gosh, I want to try this tattoo ink out and all of that. Do you see what's happening here? And at the end of the day, it all boils down to as many tattoo ink sales as possible. The more popular this becomes, the more magic ink gets sold. And what does that mean? Money. Mark my words. This is a cash grab situation. And I predict that I'll be sitting here at some point in my life talking about the downfall of it all, or lawsuits that might be coming into play, because I've done it before with another tattoo gimmick. Who's to say that it won't happen again? I don't know. Maybe, just maybe, I won't get to sit here and say I told you so. just maybe. You know what? Prove me wrong. I'm okay with that. I'm more than okay with being proved wrong, honestly. Maybe this will be one of the first tattoo gimmicks to really fly off the walls. But you know what they say, if it ain't broke, don't try and fix it. Anyway, long story short, if you can't tell, this whole thing is a no from me. You will not catch me getting involved with any of this type of malarkey other than just sitting here and talking about it, okay? I will not be partaking in getting this type of tattoo. It's expensive, it's kind of pointless to some extent, and yeah. I'm not about it. Anyway, I would love to know your thoughts and opinions on all of this. Are you interested in the whole thing? Is it something you would like to try? Or is it something you want to stay far, far away from? Do a sound off down below, and until my next video, bye!